This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm still here in the theater, and I'm reviewing The Quatermass Experiment, a horror film by Val Guest, released in 1955. The titular experiment is a rocket ship secretly sent into space, which crash lands into a field. Of the 3 astronauts on board, 2 have completely disappeared, the third locked in a state of shock. The lead of the project, Bernard Quatermass, takes part in an investigation into the affairs, which only becomes stranger after a film strip taken within the rocket suggests that some alien life form had not only invaded the ship, but perhaps possessed the surviving astronaut. The full story of the film is rather slowly paced, even for a horror film where building mystery and tension are essential genre tools. The main monster of the film doesn't actually attack anybody until halfway through the film, and even then there are only a handful of victims throughout that second half of the movie. The first half of the running time is dedicated more to conversation and investigation, with a few hints at things to come, but nothing that significantly progresses the monster's storyline. Quatermass is set up almost immediately as a scientist dead set on achieving whatever needs to be done, regardless of the damage that may be done or the people he may have to walk over to get results. He's entirely willing to help out the ongoing investigation into the crash and disappearances, as well as the surviving crewmen and his ongoing ailments. There isn't really a strong character arc that he follows, rather his point of view of the ongoing events is what attaches the viewer to Quatermass, and so he becomes our window into his world. It's an approach that works for the film's setting, but it leaves us without any other reason to hope for his success. The other characters in the film are even less developed than Quatermass, more or less becoming talking heads for his story and the plot of the film. I'm pretty sure that some characters disappear from the film entirely after a point, one of whom springs to mind being the surviving astronaut's wife. She attempts to drive off with her husband after springing him from a hospital, but after he runs off, she's never seen in the film again. Other characters are only seen once or twice, minutes at a time, and are usually only there to either speak with Quatermass or to be spoken at. While the movie is obviously not about these people, it feels them leaving like hollow shells, where characters with actual personalities could be. The main draw of the film is definitely in its special effects, which for the time are rather well made. The drawback is that they are sparingly used throughout the film, primarily only being seen in the second half as the film's monster begins to show itself more. It's a welcome sight to see, given the lack of anything substantial beforehand, but even then it just leads you to feel as though they made the film under the idea that they wouldn't have to do anything until 20 minutes before the ending. The other technical aspects of the film are just as underwhelming, leaving the viewer desiring less rather than more. The film has become appreciated in more recent times, being a noted influence on several horror film directors and horror writers. It's easy to see why, as the film has all the hallmarks of a horror story with some science fiction elements thrown in, and a reveal in the final scenes that would definitely stick in a viewer's mind. But watching the film with no such preconceptions, I don't find that much to write home about other than the film's special effects. The Quatermass Experiment. Val Guest, 1955, 2.5 stars. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but if you've got an hour or so to kill, then it wouldn't hurt to put it on. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave a like if you did. Leave a comment if you didn't. If you want to see more reviews, please subscribe. If you want to be notified, hit the bell. If you want me to stop entirely, then find a way to get me out of this place.